The City Council this week released their strategy for the city centre up to 2018. Without going into depth into that report, how do you feel Manchester has changed over recent years, and what are the areas that we need to improve in terms of the city centre?
I think, like we were saying earlier, I think we need to, there needs to be more ecologists involved in the planning of Manchester and the surrounding areas. Everyone's going green these days, and to me there doesn't seem to be enough input from ecologists. There's all new ways of quantifying the environment. Ecosystem services is a new thing, and it just sort of like, it's a way of quantifying what the environment does for us, and I'd like to see more of these sort of things, being incorporated into council plans and business plans.
Green enough? Or do you think we're really lacking in terms of?
No. I think there's a lot more can be done, and there's a lot of opportunities. Manchester's European City of Science. We've got that status now, and I think that's a really big opportunity to really green Manchester up, get the place clean, and using innovation to create something bigger.
Now, we both attended the Manchester A Certain Future conference 2 weeks ago in the town hall, in which the City Council and some other representatives discussed the fact that we're going to miss their own set target emissions. But is it not fair to say that, or maybe that can't be helped because the city's growing so fast that the goalposts have moved and we have to readapt?
Well, it's about finding sustainable ways of doing things, new ways of doing things. It's no good to say that we've only got one planet. As a scientist, I'm reading stuff about climate change, that isn't good. We've only got one chance to get it right. So I think it's no good to be saying that and saying we're going to have a new northern powerhouse and potentially loads, more pollution. It's not good enough as far as I'm concerned.
So let's talk about the waterways of Manchester. You're in the Manchester Ship Canal World Heritage Group. Can you tell me about how you would like to see the waterways of Manchester, canals and rivers, utilised in the future?
Well, actually a lot of work's been done to clean up the canals. Manchester Ship Canal, River Herron used to be really, really filthy, and fair play to the authorities, the Environment Agency. We've now got salmon, we've got otters in the River Herron. Otters are even being seen at Pomona on the Docklands. But there is still a lot of issues, a clean waterway. It's the life body of every city, really. So there is still more needs to be done.
How would you like to increase Manchester's urban nature?
Well, as we were saying earlier, like green roofs, Pomona. That's an area where we could have an Eden project potentially. There's a thing called the Eden project in Cornwall, which is an area where for nature, it's an area of permaculture. There's just innovative things doing, and they're the sort of things we should be doing. If we want to be considered a progressive city. In France, I think it's now the law to make green roofs, of buildings. So, they're maybe not make it law, but they're the sort of things we need to be looking at.
Can you tell me about the tours you've been doing? Now, you were telling me before about urban nature tours around the Ship Canal and around different parts of the city, Manchester and Salford, where you're from, Salford.
Can
you tell me a little bit more about this?
I'm actually from Manchester.
Oh, really?
One side of my family's Salford, so I've got a nice balance of Manc and Salfordian. I've been involved in birdwatching cruises on the quays, where that's the council and the ecology unit and our group have worked together putting on these cruises, and you're getting about 50 people with looking for this big five species. That's what I've been creating, like a big five for the Salford docks, so people can go and look for them and just add something to the visit. I've also devised like a Manchester Big Five. You know, these are all species that can be used to promote the city and get people interested in wildlife. Things like the peregrines that are nesting in, you know, that's a top Manchester bird. Like I'd put that as my number one. The peregrines, yeah, they've actually breeding in the city centre.
In Manchester?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, James, that's all we've got time for. Thank you, it's been absolutely fascinating, and I hope we can have you back soon.
Cheers, thanks. Nice one.